Hello, everyone, and welcome to Africa Fire Mission's weekly virtual training session. My name's Mike, and I'm the programs director here at Africa Fire Mission. We're so happy that you took time out of your busy schedules to join us for today's training. And today, we're joined by Cyrus Kalemungorok. Cyrus is out in West Pokot in Kenya, and Cyrus has been a real champion for community fire education, um, fire safety assessments. He's been doing all sorts of great work. He's a volunteer with us here at Africa Fire Mission. He's an assistant chief in his own fire brigade. Does just a fantastic job and has really seen some great changes in his community with the work that him and his colleagues at the fire brigade have been doing to educate the public. So we're very fortunate to have him here with us today to share some of his experiences and his knowledge that he's developed in this. Before we get started, let me just touch on a couple quick administrative notes. If you stick around for at least 70% of today's training, which is usually about 40 or 45 minutes, I'll send you a certificate of attendance for today's class. If you get cut off, disconnected, maybe you have to leave to respond to an emergency call, that's okay. I can still get you that certificate of attendance. I need you to head over to our webpage, africafiremission.org. There's a resources tab there. It's filled with all sorts of great information and free resources for you to utilize. If you click on the training materials there, you can find a link to the 2026 virtual trainings. That'll take you to our Google Drive, where you can find all the trainings that we've done so far this year. Watch the recording of the training, answer a couple questions that lets me know that you completed the whole video, and I can get you a certificate of attendance for that class. If you guys are sharing your screen with someone else today, that's another great way to save some bundles and data. Please just send me an email. I'll drop my email address in the chat here in just a few moments. Send me an email, let me know who you're sharing your screen with so I can get them a certificate of attendance as well. As we wrap up our training at the top of the hour, then we'll transition into our tea time. Tea time is a time where you can ask questions about today's training or just sort of further that discussion along. So if you've got the time in the bundles, I invite you to stick around for that as well. So with that, I'm going to pass things over to my friend Cyrus here and let him get started with today's training. Go ahead,
Okay,
Cyrus.
thank you so much, Mr. Mike, and good evening and good afternoon. Just want to welcome you today, whereby I will be taking a few notes. Of course, it is a wide when you take time and do a research for your own, you will get a lot of information out of what I have, the little that I have. So, and today it's one of the very beautiful lessons that I decided for my own to share with firefighters across Africa. As the way Mr. Mike said, I'm Cyrus Kalemungorok, and I'm also a fire safety advocate and a volunteer to Africa Fire Mission. So you're welcome. And my today topic is all about fire prevention and development. How can we develop from doing fire prevention to our communities? What is our meta call towards the fire prevention and the fire service in county and as a country in general? So number one, remember that before you do anything, you have to plan. And here is my plan of the lesson of today. When you see overview of the daily presentations, I have a plan and training for the fire prevention. Before you take out the training to fire prevention, you need to have a plan. Who is going to do the fire prevention? Whom will they look like to the community or where they need to take the fire prevention? So they need to be trained first, of course, to carry the right information so that they can not contradict themselves at a community. Fire prevention education benefit. Yes. What will be the benefit after training the staff to carry out a fire prevention training to the community? Another thing is building a community and fire services relationship. Yeah, that's another big role of a fire prevention. It will link up in a good manner between community and the firefighters or the fire service within the country. Because fire prevention always being connected one-on-one by the firefighters and the community. So it will bring a good rapport and a good relationship. Another thing is a fire risk assessment and inspection. Inspection. Fire risk assessment and inspection will bring some impact to the community. It will bring also impact to the fire service. We will see that head revenue collection and use. Yes, maybe a fire prevention will bring in a revenue that can support maybe a fire service or some programs to run within the country and within the county, of course, to a fire service. Community benefit from fire service development. Yes, maybe fire prevention lead to collection of revenue to a development of fire services within the country or within the county. Next slide, Mr. Mike. Yes, remember that our major work as a firefighters or our major call as a firefighters in service is we prevent loss of life and property, promote community safety, support sustainable development, reduce economic impact. Yes, that's the major impact to the fire service. We are here to serve the community, to prevent their lives, to make sure that all properties that belong to them cannot be destroyed by a fire or any other unexpected tragedy, like maybe a landslide and whatever. So all of that, it also fire service enhance the economic impact. That economic impact might be one of the key elements that we need also to produce as a fire service, in fire service or as a fire. So next, Mr. Mike. Yes. What will be the importance of planning in fire service? Before we take the training to the community, we have what we call a planning. Planning is the key. What is the plan of fire station being built within the county? Number one, it might be to respond to the emergency, and that emergency involves lives and property. So the plan is to at least assist the community, at least reduce some safety problems within the county or the country. So our call as a fire prevention team or a plan of a fire prevention. Number one, we need to plan for ourselves to carry out the trainings. What is in that training? What do we majorly target in that training? Maybe we target a community to bring us a good friendship with them for our easy responses, maybe sharing our contact numbers, also training them on how to deal with the unexpected emergencies or try to control. So maybe our main call to carry out that plan to the community is we make the community know who we are, we make the community to understand in case of any emergency, how are they going to reach to us. Number two, another thing that we need to show them as a community is identify the risks. When we go to the community, we're also able to identify the risks, show them the problems that might cause fires, that might cause loss of life, that might cause harm to them. So maybe that's is our one of the key elements that we'll take to the community. Number two, allocate the resources. Yes, after we train ourselves, before we go to the community, we need now to allocate the resources. Maybe financial, transportation, and the welfare of the officers who will be carrying out the activities to the community. You know. Now, what is the timeline? How long are we going to do this process? How many months, how many years do we go to the community, or do we do these activities so that we can achieve our goals? So that is all entails your plan in fire service within the fire department, so that you can acquire what you need at long last. Because there must be something that we are targeting always as we do things. Next slide. Yeah, role of the officers in fire department or in fire services. Enhancing fire safety. Of course, I mentioned earlier, I said not just to respond to emergencies. Our work is not just to stay at fire station and wait for fires to occur so that we can respond. No, that's not our work. Our work also, I'm not saying it is not completely our work, it is our work, but it might be the last in our plans. Because after plan A and plan B fails, now we go to plan 3, and that plan 3 might be responding to the emergencies that has occurred. Remember that when things happens in a wrong way, there is something that it has never been done correctly. So our meta work is to enforce fire safety standards, maybe by doing inspection here and there, showing the community what is missing for them so that they can achieve a safe way on doing their things. Educating the community on fire risks, yes. Meta role also as a fire officers is to educate our community. We need to appear in several times to them, train them, show them the skills all the time. Risks within the business premises, private institution like schools, so many areas that we can still engage with the community. Collecting revenue through licenses and certificates. Yeah, that's the major one. I don't know whether you guys knows that firefighters need to collect revenue for offering out licenses and certificates. So I want to speak something about collecting revenue through the licenses. How do you put, or how can you calculate how much are you going to collect from a certain license in a certain business? So for us here, we just do a simple calculation so that we can get how long and how much can a fire safety license last in the business within the county. So we say the quality of the services that we offer including inspections, fire inspection. That's what I mean. Risk assessments, emergency responses. So that's the quality. That's the kind of the quality that we have to offer to the community. So we say the quality of the service that we offer to the community, stroke the amount spent in that service delivery, including also buying the equipment and building the fire station. All of them we calculate and put it in one packet. How many fire stations do we have within the county? How much was spent for that fire safety fire stations? How many fire engines do we have? One fire engine costs how much? After we get that whole amount, now we say whatever amount that we will get. Now we distribute the amount with the community. We share with the community so that after a certain number of years, we will be able to retrieve the amount spent so that we can extend some areas that has not been developed in fire service. So that means if you distribute to the community for 20 years or for 40 years, the amount that you spent in fire service, it will give you how much that fire safety license be, how much will be one fire safety license cost to the business guys or the business people within the county or the country. And now, after how long? It might be 40 years or 50 years. So maybe one fire safety license might be maybe the least, because also we calculate with the type of the business. How big is the business is? You have also to calculate that cost to the community, because the fire safety license cannot be the same rate. Maybe somebody who is owning a small M-Pesa or a small retail shop, and somebody is owning a supermarket store. Their license cannot be the same. So we can come out with a minimum charges for a fire safety license, and we'll come up with a maximum cost of the fire safety license, so that you can get how long will be issuing this license, so that we can retrieve the amount of money being spent for maybe how many fire stations and how many fire engines. Another thing is we have what we call occupational or occupancy certificate. That is, they are supposed to be issued to the premises before the occupancy took place, before the people occupied a place. So that also you calculate the amount spent within the amount spent in that cost for that. And then you divide and get 10% or 20% for the amount spent. Okay? So using revenue, how are we going to use this revenue that we collect from them? Maybe there is a payment of firefighters, salary. There is buying the equipments for the fire service. Yeah, that's how we need to do a lot in fire service, so that we can engage with the community, and at long last, the community will be a big stakeholders in the fire service. Thank you. Next, Mr. Mike. Yeah, community input. What might be benefit from this community, and how will they benefit from the services? Of course, I talked earlier that in this plan, the community must be one of the biggest beneficiaries. Prevention activities. What do you need to train the community in which way to prevent what in their businesses? Are you going only to speak about fire prevention? And these plans that you are going to take direct to them will assist them also, and it will assist fire services, right? Education and enforcement. Of course, education after you talk with the community. We cannot force the community to do what they don't want to do. They start the right channel that after we speak with them, after we engage with them several times, now we request them to do what is needed. Because we say once you educate somebody in this world, they will be in a good position to understand what you need and understand what they need, the resources. Yeah, the resources we acquire from them and will be a good resources for them for educating across. Okay, among the community will benefit from the revenue that we are collecting from them, and also we are the resource to them because we respond to the emergencies, we train them, we show them so many things that they don't understand maybe, but while we put our heads together, it will be understandable better. Next. Yeah, so I said earlier that you can't engage to any activities without having the knowledge and the skills that you need to be using for you to get out, to get the benefit or to achieve the goals that you are targeting. And one of the key pillar is a communication. Train our firefighters, we train ourselves all the time in a good way of communicating. When we go to the community, we are not going to shout to them as if we are using a certain force. It's not like that. We need to be communicating smoothly. How are we going? How can we do that communication? Because we need to train ourselves several times so that we can use the communication way, the communicating them. Because if we hurt the community, they will throw back to us and will behave wild to them. Cultural sensitivity. Yes, we train also our firefighters, or we train ourselves to understand how the community acts. Which areas do we need to go by the community culture? Because
All right, let me jump in here and keep going with the topic there. We got some network issues there. We lost him, well, lost Cyrus there. So we'll see if he gets himself back in, and we'll keep going here. Um, yeah, looking over his discussing your training of the firefighters, right? Lots of different um, topics there to look at. Communication, making sure you've got that well planned way of how you're gonna get your firefighters that are going out there and doing those trainings to be able to reach out and connect, communicate. That cultural sensitivity is really important as well. Depending upon the community that you're going into, there may be some things that you need to do. I know a lot of you guys understand this. Obviously, you're going into the community. You're going to need to make contact with whoever is the local leader or chief. Be sure that you've got some open communication with them, uh, and following those. Anything that may be a little bit culturally different. Some of you guys are working in places where you've got maybe some different religions, maybe that's different than yours. Um, so the way those communities interact. So you've got that cultural sensitivity there. Make sure that as you're training your firefighters to go out and do your community prevention work, um, be sure they've got a good level of education on the topic that they're going to be teaching. Obviously, we're looking for you to be that subject matter expert, right? That's what we're really looking for there. And then if in some of your activities there is some sort of component that involves revenue, be sure that everybody is up to date on what that is. They understand how that process works. Um, and make sure that there's some safeguards in that system to make sure that there's no means of any kind of corruption or anything like that, no abuse of those funds that you may collect as revenue. Um, Lots of different aspects to that revenue collection, and you've really got to take a look at whether that's something that is a first step for your fire brigade, or if that's going to be a more advanced step as you move along in your progression of development as a fire brigade. So, if your fire brigade is still struggling to gain respect in the community, um, and things like that, some of your initial reach outs and fire safety assessments, things like that, um, may be better off offered as a free service so that you get to know things. I know in Cyrus's community where he works, they began with that model, and as they advanced, they moved into a collection program. So uh, there's various aspects to that. Um, what types of as he mentioned earlier, occupancy permits that may be needed before a business opens or a school opens or something like that. What type of licenses they may need, what type of inspections they may need to see that they're in compliance with any local rules as far as fire codes go or something like that. Um, you want to make sure that your fees are fair as you're collecting those fees. A lot of times it's a balancing act there between fees that can fund the services that are being provided with preventing those fees from becoming an obstacle for a business to open or an obstacle for someone to comply with what you're looking for there. Be sure that there's some really, really detailed record keeping anytime there's monetary transactions, exchanges of money, collections of fees. There needs to be lots of record keeping there to make sure that that is accounted for, that they've in fact paid, it's been received, and it's properly deposited where it needs to go. So there's a lot of record keeping involved with that. And then any type of reporting that you may have as well. So we're looking at, if you go and do a safety assessment, going back and providing that report to to whoever you did that inspection for, so they've got that information. They can make adjustments if they need to. It's just a great practice for documenting things. One of the next steps in the process, you've got to begin coordinating your stakeholders, right? So, this is really important when you're trying to work in community development, sort of trying to advance that standing that your fire brigade has in the community and things like that. You want to make sure that you get in groups on the same page so the fire brigade isn't out there sort of working independently. So, uh, first of all, what are your, what different disciplines within your county or your local or municipal government do you need to work with to do some of these things? So as we're going out to do a prevention activity, we're going out to do inspections and that kind of work. Uh, what type of approvals do we need? Do we need approvals from the local government? Um, in coordinating any of these types of activities, right? So that's sort of the first step, getting the localized permission from your fire brigade, from your local government leader. Next step moves on, where are we going to go to provide, to do these inspections or to do your community prevention program. So as we talked about before, you've got to look at engaging those community leaders, getting the community leaders to buy into your program of what you'd like to do, um, so that they're part of the process, that they can encourage members of their community to, attend your prevention presentations, to participate in the inspection process, the business processes, all that sort of stuff. So really engaging those leaders, reaching out to local businesses. Um, Getting local businesses on your side has a lot of really good benefits for your fire brigade. If there are business associations, um, whatever they may be, little circles that they all work in, working together with them, coordinating with them uh, as you're planning your outreaches or planning your inspections and things like that, making sure all those things are coordinated and ready to go is really important. Uh, Again, trying to keep those stakeholders all together, uh, and then sharing that information amongst all of them, right? Making sure that uh, everybody's on the same page, everybody knows how you're going to go about uh, doing your inspections or whatever you're working on there, whether out in the community, really important as well. Uh, Cyrus, we've got him logged back in here. Are you ready to go there, Cyrus, as we move on to the next slide?
I've been saying this picture shows us how we need to coordinate and engage with the community in several ways so that they can understand ourselves and our better services so that we can win a revenue collection for them to stabilize the fire services. So that's just a picture of one of the trainings within here in Kenya, how we engage in different ways of trainings. There is that fire prevention that we use available resources. There is that fire prevention that we use portable fire extinguishers. So it depends on how you want to take out the training, mapping. So where, and what is needed for them to capture the skills that you are taking to them. So next. Yeah, assessing the community needs. This is where now we need to know a lot from the community. We have to do a survey on the hazards. What are the major hazards to where are we going to do this survey? Because all areas are not the same. The people who are living at urban towns can't have the same hazards with people who are living in rural areas. So we need to do that survey so that we can decide which type of the training that we are taking to train to them. And also we have to decide how much is needed for them to pay a single fire safety license annually. So that's very important. Number two, a population or a buildings. The shops that is being allocated or that being located in a rural area, of course, maybe a business centers, a small business centers within a local places cannot pay the same fire safety license to the same as somebody who is living in a well-developed town. So the same risks are not the same from those two different places. So you need to understand the differences. You need to touch them differently. You need to talk with them and do the different trainings with them because maybe somebody who is using modernized equipments and training are not the same. The engagement are not the same. You need also to identify the community that they are vulnerable. All right, what do you do to them? Maybe you need, as a fire service, to empower some of them to do and run some activities in that community. Maybe like showing them, empowering them to train their community, because they're the one who are touched directly with the members. So mapping high risks areas. Like here in Kenya, there is a places in up and town whereby we map it as a high risk areas. For example, slums. Slums, when you find out how the structures looks like, it is like a chain whereby you will find a houses being attached together, 10 by 10, around 500 to 1,000 units at the same location, being attached together, but different families. So when the fire occurs in that area, it might cause everybody to lose properties in that particular area. So we map that places as a high risk areas. And what is needed for them, we plan and give out the correct and right trainings for them. Right? So to us, we need to do that in fire service while we're engaging with the community. Okay, next. Next, Mike. Yeah, role of the education. I don't know whether are we in the same slide? Back once,
Yep.
so that they can.
Yep. All good. Role of education.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. Role of education. Now, what is the role of education in fire service to the community? Number one, it increase knowledge to the community. We'll be enhancing the community to understand things that they are with them, but they don't understand the correct procedures on maybe how to take care of or how to use them correctly. So we'll educate them, and they will acquire a lot of knowledge from the fire service through the maybe the county and country. So your community will understand a lot in fire service. Number two, in this slide, the community will behave safely during maybe an emergencies like fires, and maybe the engagement with the firefighters in different talks or in different occasions. They will know and understand that what is needed for them to behave like when there is this kind of emergency or a kind of activities taking place. Again, in early detection, they will understand something that it has taken place shortly, or they will understand, or they will be able to know this thing is wrong, or this thing is going in the wrong direction because of the engagement and the skills that we offer to them day out throughout the service that we provide to them. So that is the other things that will empower them. They will understand things that it is getting worse and the things that it's not worse. They will understand things that it is cause harm to them, and things that they cannot cause harm to them. So that is one of the big benefits in fire service. When our community understands, or when our community understands the fire at large or understands how we do a fire safety or a safety measures correctly, that is our win, because it will reduce some things, right? It will make things for us in fire service run smoothly. Reduce incidences. Of course, it reduces incidences maybe at 80%. And the 20%, we give that, we say, maybe unintentional. It just happened because there was no any way that it was supposed to be prevented. Like us here in West Pokot, in Kenya, we did, or we normally do, a lot of community engagement, training them, showing them so many things on fire services that they need to follow and plan for themselves. Like the last 3 years, we have just only responded 11 fires. That is 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. We have only responded to 11 fires across the county. So what that tells us, when we educate and when we engage with the community will understand things to do. And those things that need to be done by them, if they will do it correctly, automatically it will reduces the incidences that we need to be responding. So that's one of the things that I can give out in example for you guys. Maybe you are planning to uh, interact with the community. The major thing that will happen in your fire service is completely there will be a reduces of fire incidences. What I can speak is all about fire because we are in the fire service. And when we teach the community, it might be not a miracle that the whole year will be just staying at the fire station doing other things than receiving incidences. So next, Mike. Yeah, what is the method of education that we need to give out to the community? You might engage with the community at a workshop whereby it needs maybe live and face-to-face trainings and demonstrating to what you have, what is needed for you as a firefighters to engage with that community. Tangible things, physical practicals, action, showing them by demonstrating here and there in a safe manner and understandable. As you take out the trainings, maybe in one with the community, you don't need to do the complicated things that it is needed. What we learn in our fire training schools, we cannot make it very simple for them to understand, for them to be interested with your next lesson. Also, we can give out the brochures, the typed information. In case of fire, in case of electricity fire, what they need to do? In case of kitchen fires, what they need to do? In case of, so such brochures will carry a simple and understandable message that when they sit down and read, it will stick in their minds. So that's what we need to do. And that is the method, one of the methods of the training to the community. Schools, yeah, we might engage with the learners physically, train them, act with them, do some activities together with the learners. You see, maybe we plan for a seminars for just allowing a certain community to come to the fire station from a certain area. We train them like 2 days, 3 days, 1 day, 2 hours. So it depends. right? Maybe welcoming the school learners to visit the fire station, or they can welcome us. All of them, it is a way on how we just need to educate them. Media services, like now, we are just using a media. We are just using online training to share some of this information. You see? So we normally use our social medias, for example, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok nowadays works well. So you take a time, just maybe 40 minutes or 1 hour in a day, and give out the information that it will enable your community understand the fire services at all or at large. So that's the methods that we do. Some of us we engage in so many areas, right? And next, again, I forgot to mention about the radios and the TVs. That might be also another good platform for us to train the community or speak about the fires. Like nowadays, the fires in Kenya in schools are very rampant. It is something that we expect anytime. The schools were used to be safest place in some years back when I was still young. But nowadays, some parents or some parents are now thinking the school is no longer safe or safer than their younger ages. So it is now becoming a hazardous area or a high risk area because the student themselves might cause the fires. So when we go to the TVs, when we go to the radios and spread the information, what is needed for the school to give out fire safety instruction in the school is 1, 2, 3. So that is one of the media that they're supposed or we are supposed to be using as a firefighters. Benefit of the education, safer environment, that's 100%. There will be no any harm or there will be no any material that can cause harm to the community, and that is our environment. So there might be a good and safe reduce of the hazards within our environment. When the community understood well what it takes for us to make the environment safe, and then now that's the time we will celebrate as a fire service because we have trained the community to understand and do for themselves what is needed to be done within our environment. Yeah, law insurance. The community will not spend less by insuring some equipment because once they have the knowledge that if you will do uh, electrical wiring properly and correct manner in my business premises, there will be no cause of fire. If I will know how, if the community understood, how are they going to do some arrangement? How are they going to clear housekeeping? So again, it will reduce them a cost of insuring because what we insure at high or what we put a higher insurance, that always must be a high risk or a high risk exposure. So when they understand about it, some of them will just be the insurance themselves. Compliance, yes, it will make us a fire service, or it will make the fire service run smoothly because they will understand the importance of a compliance, maybe complying with the fire safety standards by doing inspections willingly, being without being forced, engaging the training with the firefighters without being forced. Yeah, those are the things that will benefit from the community, and the community will benefit from us. Empowerment, of course, the community will be empowered to do some safety measures by themselves. Because we say always safety is for everyone, not only as a firefighters. The safety is belong to the community. The safety is belong to us as a fire service. All right, so we empower them to control and do a proper safety measures at their homes, businesses, schools, and all within the country. Next. Yeah, so as I speak earlier, of course, this is one of the engagement in workshop, maybe a radio, TV, demonstration, drama. Yeah, so that's what I spoke about in the last the last slide. So next, so this is one of the local radios in my county. So whereby I go there and do some talks with the community. Case studies, for example, in your country, how do you normally do these things? In Kenya, we do a lot of outreach, community engagement, drills, maybe. What about in other countries? Of course, you are there, you understand your areas, where and how are you going to demonstrate those drills to them, lessons that you need to carry out. Those all is according to your plans as in fire service. And that need all of us to be together. It is not only one person can do that, it's all about us in fire service. All right? Plan your lessons, know your area, geographical area, understand the culture within the areas, and do a proper planning of the resources in your fire service. Next. Trust and cooperation. Yeah, after we do the assessments, after we do the risk analysis, now you need to document and report where it is needed. For example, in fire services, where do we need to report? After I did my assessment, where do I need to report these hazards? Right? Joint initiatives. Yeah, we need to be joint to do some initiative with so many partners. For example, partners that they are within the fire service, within the county, in different units. So we need to share with them what are the hazards for this area, what is needed, what are we going to initiate to make sure that we control or we be together to control those hazards. Now we need to do it in a goodwill. As we do that, we do it in goodwill, not because we want to get some revenue from them, so we go by force. No, we just go by goodwill by asking them, please comply with this so that this can be done. Do this so that this one can be reduced, right? So do it in a goodwill as a fire service, all right, across your country and across your counties. Right. Thank you. Next. Community involvement initiative. Yeah, you need to empower your community to do and carry some activities. For example, for Lunda's watchers, what we call fire marshals, a neighborhood safety committee, maybe plots where people are living together. You assign 2, 3 guys to be one of the safety committee members. Participating in fire drills and awareness, maybe you can invite them to the fire station or you just go there with them. Those guys who have been empowered. For example, here in Kenya, there is some time we did a community empowerment with Mr. Jose Gujiri to the Madare, whereby we took some girls and boys from a certain organization, empower them with their fire safety prevention skills. And now they are doing the activities. So that's how we engage with the community. Participate with them, do a lot of drills, show them how to do to their community, how they need to carry out activities by themselves. Next. Yeah, uh, forming those groups, roles and responsibilities, forming those groups and giving them the responsibilities and roles to be done. Train the community members also the same. They have you as a fire service, you need to do that and following what they are doing day to day. Give them the correct procedures. Communication with the fire service. Yeah, you need to keep touch with them. Maybe they need to call you, you need to call them, make sure that what you empowered them to do, they are doing it correctly. You are just closer with them, initiating all the time one-on-one communication with the fire service, right? So that's what you need to do in your community so that we can control and win what is for us to win from them. Of course, it's a revenue and fire safety uh, hazards to be at least controlling to 0% or 10%. Next, regular communication and feedback channels. Yeah, you need also to be doing some meetings with them, community meetings, suggestion boxes. Yeah, they can just write a letters for you. Maybe they can just come and drop to the fire station. Of course, it's not easy. The good way that is good for us, maybe we allocate the areas where the leaders of the community works, maybe put a suggestion box there and ask the community if they have any question or any query among the firefighters or the fire service. They need to just write and put that suggestion box and make sure that you how long are you going to check for that suggestion box. Social media groups, maybe forming a WhatsApp, we'll have a correct and put the numbers of those of the group that they have been empowered to keep touch and carry out some activities to the community. That will be chatting with the firefighters or the fire service department leaders and get some information. Feedback survey, you may form a survey in that group of WhatsApp, share with them. It can take like 5 minutes to complete the survey and you'll get the information from them and act what is wrong. You need to maintain what has been mentioned that it is correct and it is good. So that's how you just need to keep in touch with the community. Next, yeah, success story in the fire service to the community. Maybe at some point, you as a fire service within the country, you have to you will have something to say it is a success from the community. Maybe the reduce of fire incidences. That might be a success, a story that you engage with the community. At some point, the outcome after the community applied what you told them, the outcome was a zero causes of fires. Number two, improvement of the responses. The easy communication with the community has enhanced the fire services to just respond quickly to some emergencies. Yes, maybe a revenue collection. The community engaged themselves well by contributing and applying what is applying and meeting the standard on fire safety measures according to the county or a country policy. And that has brought a lot of revenue to the fire service that has extended some fire stations to be built to the places that they have never got that services for maybe so many years. Those are the success story from the community to the fire service to the community. After that, you need also to share among the all units within the community, within the department, within the government departments. So that will be showing the progress of the fire services within the country. Thank you. Nice. Next. Yeah. So these are the pictures of the community engagement, schools, in some inspection there. One of the, of course, us here in West Pokot, there is a time we engage with the learners, both teachers and the learners. Uh, as you see here, one of the firefighters is doing a fire inspection in a certain residence. So those all are the uh, interaction between the fire service and the community. Next. So some of these pictures showing the social media channel information, channeling the information, engaging with different stakeholders there within the fire engine, doing some or giving out safety informations with the community, as the way you see one of the firefighter giving out some papers to the community. So those papers has information for the community for what to be done in fire safety measures. Next. Yeah, so in fire service, as I wind up the today's session, what is needed for us is just to do a fire safety assessment, a fire risk assessment, and inspection. So that all is a process whereby you need to do fire risk assessment, give out a fire risk report, all right, and that works. It will work like an audit. Fire risk assessment, you will carry it out. What are the risks? And then after doing that, now you can prepare your report. What was the risks? At which place you expect high risk and low risk? Give out a report with some inspection, with some recommendations in that report. What is needed to be done? Fire extinguisher installation, maybe. Fire alarms needed to be installed. Uh, all those you will hand over that report to the community, and specifically the premises or the business premises that called you to come and do some inspections. So you need to do it in a friendly manner, all right, and that will lead to the next level whereby the compliance. After giving out the report, assessment report, or a fire risk assessment report, it will lead now to recommendation, what to be done. And after they did it, what is next? License of compliance. And you will win a revenue from them easily to do more uh, empowerment in fire service. So, and that's the end of our lessons of today. Despite we had some challenges here and there due to my network. So thank you so much and have a nice evening as we continue to part two, whereby we need to discuss and ask some questions. Thank you so much.
All right, very good. Thank you, Cyrus. Uh, what a great presentation. They're packed with a bunch of information. Let me wrap up the formal part of our training here with a big thank you to Cyrus for joining us today and sharing some of the successes and knowledge that he's had within his community. Thanks to all of you for being here to try to learn how you can apply some of those lessons and make your community better as well. So with that, we're going to wrap up the formal portion of the training here. If you've got the time in the bundle, stick around. We're going to open the floor to some questions and things like that in just a few moments. If you found this training valuable and you think that there's somebody else that may benefit from this training, please feel free to share that link. We've got plenty of seats here in the room. And with that, stick around for tea time if you can. Otherwise, we'll see you again next week.